Daemon sent them to kill me. He's afraid of me. As well he should be.
Drinking milk while you are with a woman who was the age of being your mom? I'm not sure of how to analyze that. And being comforted by her like that?
I do regret that business with Luke. I am sorry for it.
I'm glad to hear that.
To hear it.
Uh,
They used to tease me, you know. Because I was different.
you were always an outcast.
I would remind you only that when princes lose their temper, it is often others who suffer.
He gave Daemon 2 names. That is the extent of it, and I did not wish to do that much. He said it was the price of my freedom.
He's gone.
For how long?
A week? Or forever, I don't know.
He does do that, doesn't he?
Ooh.
You remember me now.
He said he would marry you.
The two of you
He said he
facing.
carried his child. Not everyone found the jest funny.
It would not serve me to set you free.
What do you
At
want from
best,
her?
I lose an asset to my cause.
I was brought to Westeros with nothing. I toiled in service, I stole, I sold my own body for coin or bread. I collected confidences. I made myself valuable to powerful men. Bit by bit, I earned my living. Then they set it all aflame.
Who did?
The hightowers, I can only assume. The hand did not like it when I showed my teeth. But I thank him for it. They will never accept me. Might as well have remained a whore.
How did you get that scar?
Someone who was never accepted and all by guys. Maybe she can understand. Traitors?
Ratcatchers. And the king's employ.
Ah, you eliminated all of them.
What I do?
The dog! The dog. I saw you, dog.
The rat catch us!
Oh, I had them hanged.
Yeah. Simple question,
And that
simple answer.
could not say for certain which man it was.
Idiot!
Beware how you speak to your king.
Mm-hmm.
The king is my grandson. He's worse than a fool. He's murdered innocent men
And
Yes.
and hanged them from the walls of the city for all to see. And their wives and children gathered out at our gates to weep and curse your name.
Your mother's tears, we made a bitter sacrifice against the deprivations to come, and you throw it away.
I will not be thought weak.
Even now, news of Rhaenyra's monstrous crime spreads through the realm. The great houses falter. They cannot but come to our side.
We must act. Sir Kristen Cole has acted.
You told him about your secret plan?
He sent Sir Eric to slay Rhaenyra.
Alone. God's help us all.
Yeah.
It's time the bitch queen paid a price.
She's not gonna
And you
die.
acceded
No one
to
is gonna
this
succeed.
Prank, without consulting me, or the council, instead of judgment. You never think of your father. His forbearance, his dignity.
Fuck dignity. I want revenge.
It says a lot about you, what you just said.
He was right about you.
You made me king.
Is that what you think?
Oh, you're not gonna stay.
Remove your badge.
Yes! You're not gonna stay his aunt. How could you believe that you can talk to him like that?
Insolent cut.
Give it to Cole.
I thought that The little rat would do it.
This hour, you have proven yourself of more worth than 100 old men. You may go.
Your Grace.
There is a Valarian ship in the harbour, bound for Rhaenyra by way of Penteros. I'm not so unworldly as to let you fly free.
I am... Thank you.
You did good, Rhaenyra. Oh, it might have saved your life.
A moment.
She saw him. She recognized him.
Believe me, I have no choice. Do not do this.
Okay, you were warned on time. And you're truly facing your brother.
Which is Eric?
Ah! That's a good question!
We were born together. You parted us! I still love you, brother.
Who survived? I'm not sure of who survived right there.
Eric.
Forgive me.
No! No!
I'm not even sure that it was Eric. And right there, both of them could have killed themselves saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what my brother just tried to do to you. I'm sorry because I tried to kill you. You understand what I mean?
It does come to war.
He's ensured it.
Aegon is still malleable.
You think?
It's the death of the child that has unstrung him. Go rather to Aegon. The Tyrells must be taken in hand. Their bannermen are wavering. While you're gone, I'll speak sense to him. In time, you may yet return.
You think? Like me? You seem to have a lot of hope.
They are not peacocks, all shrieking and feathers. But we will yet prevail and bring forth peace, I still believe. As long as you and I hold fast.
I think that it's too late for that.
I have sinned.
I do not wish to hear of it.
And clearly for me they all sinned your sin, but because there are guys into this universe, they don't care about it and they don't apologize for it. Aegon? He's a son who needs... Oh no, Alicent! Alicent is a son who needs a mother right now. Just waiting for you. For my dad. For what happened. For the fact that I feel guilty. For everything into this world. For the love and the passion. Oh, finishing with that, okay. I have the impression to repeat that now, like for sure since 2 episodes. Again, I have the impression that the entire season 1 was a prologue to what is gonna truly happen, that war between them, to show us that it cannot not happen and why is it gonna happen, why the reasons of that war. a son being killed. At the end of the episode 1, a son for a son. Right there, another sneaky attack, but this time against Rhaenyra. Like, that's it! It's gonna be the beginning of this war. Like, there is no way to avoid that. I think that Otto and Alicent right there, they are lying to themselves if they think that they can avoid that. They can't avoid that. There is no peaceful way to end all of that. And you know, I'm surprised that he can talk about peace when really he was saying to Aegon, you just have to wait so we can convince allies to go with us for that war. You know, I thought that he was talking about that war. No one is gonna want to follow her anymore because of what she did for the war to come. Or was he truly thinking no one is gonna be on her side, so she's gonna give up on that war, that potential war, she's gonna bend the knee, she's gonna disappear all by herself into her own little thing. Let's forget about her. He couldn't believe so, and he was asking to Aegon just to wait for the war, to declare war, not to give up on that war. This episode, like, it was full of a lot of things, and I think that, like I talked about it during the intro, people who disliked the end of the previous episode, who read the books and who thought that it was not impactful enough in comparison of how impacted they were, you know, when they read it. For them it was so shocking when they read it on the books that they were waiting for this moment on screen to be as much as the Red Wedding. I talked about it during the intro. For me, it was shocking, it was truly big, you know, what happened at the end of the previous episode. So I didn't feel disappointed, you know, I didn't expect anything, and I was truly surprised by what happened, and I was truly shocked by what happened, so it was enough for me. But I think that for these people who maybe were disappointed a little and expected more, maybe the beginning of this episode with everyone, you know, running into the castle with that music also, which was really great during that moment, with also Elena and Alicent, you know, following the body of the prince, with Aegon having his revenge, you know, killing that guy. Maybe that repaired a little what happened at the end of the season 1 for these people. I hope that it's the case, because for me it was a pretty good moment. Maybe now that I think about it, we didn't have that kind of music for what happened at the end of the previous episode, and it would have been interesting to have a real important musical moment, you know, real music, impactful, like for the Red Wedding, like also, you know, for many important moments into Game of Thrones, the original show. Maybe it could have been great. You know, the music has a real importance into Game of Thrones, this franchise, so maybe they should bet on it a little more, you know, put a lot more on it. Aegon for sure would react like that, would go crazy, would want a revenge, an immediate revenge. For sure everyone around would calm him, would ask him to wait, and that was really clever, in fact, to ask him to wait, to have people maybe at some point, to have people, allies, new allies, and all with them. Like, it was a really good decision, a really clever one, but for sure not enough for Aegon. But Aegon accepted. During that moment he accepted, and it's only when Carl found him with that idea, you know, with that sneaky plan that he did without asking anyone, that he went on the mode really for revenge. He found someone who was thinking like him and who did something, so he just went for him. And with Otto talking to him so bad, forgetting during some minutes, you know, that he was the end of the king and just being mad grandpa, Aegon, you know, yes, decided, okay, I'm the king, I'm gonna decide, let's go for revenge, and I have Carl with me, he did that, so I'm going with it. It's not surprising, you know, what happened on their side, it's not surprising at all. It was a good idea, Otto, Alicent, what they planned. Aegon, his reactions, they were also predictable. I'm glad that he didn't want, you know, to Elena being mad, making her feel even more guilty than how she is right now. Like, she's really a ghost right now. I'm so sad for the girl. Like, I'm glad that at least he didn't do that. Doesn't mean that she's not gonna do it at some point, but at least right there he didn't do that. Cole, like really, I'm gonna say it again right there during this review because maybe I had to cut a lot of it for the YouTube version. The guy, how he was talking to his soldier, you know, that was so bad, like he just wanted to put his nerves on someone, on something else, that was awful. And for him to decide to make a plan like that, to put at risk, you know, no, it's not even to put at risk, I was gonna say to put at risk the peace of the kingdoms. It's not even that, like to ask for that revenge, to ask for murdering a queen, like to decide all of that on his own. I'm sorry, but he's no one. At that council meeting, he's not even around the table, you know, he is back at the back of the king, just watching them, giving his opinion only when it's asked, and like, he's no one. So for him to decide that, like really during this moment, it made me so mad, because just before that we had the moment with Daemon and Rhaenyra, and with the fact that he also decided something on his own. Even if he's not, you know, in charge, she is the queen, still, he was the one to make that plan to murder Daemon, and in fact, it's a kid who died. I'm gonna come back to that. But you know, these two scenes together, I had truly the impression that that's it. Your guys sleeping with the queens, you know, sleeping with the big girls, so you can't handle that, or you want also your part of power, and you're deciding to go full independent and to plan a sneaky attack without asking anyone, just on your own, and to decide that just by yourself. Like, really during this moment I was tired of guys sleeping with queens and doing independent stuff which are just sneaky attacks and awful ideas. Like, I was so mad during this moment against Cole. Even if I understand his plan, I understand his logic, he is no one to decide that truly on his own. He can secure it, he can talk about it to Aegon, and Aegon is gonna approve it, you know, in that order. But to decide it and then to tell Aegon, oh, no. I was so mad during this moment. Also because I was mad during the discussion Daemon and Rhaenyra, because clearly this relationship, if you saw my reactions and my thoughts about the first season, you saw that I was not for it, you know. Clearly there is already an incest situation because of the family situation, but also I didn't like that thing, you know, about the older and the younger, that form of power control that this kind of relationship can have. Like, I saw the potential, and still, no, just the toxicity of a couple like that. At some point they made me think that it could work because they were madly in love with each other, but I had still issues with that. I was not fully on the boat. And at the end of the previous season, when, you know, at a few occasions he wanted to have the power, to have control of the situation, when he also went a little violent against her, for what I remember, like, I was already beginning to feel red flags. So right there, for him to decide that against her back, I was not okay with it, clearly. To not own the responsibility of what happened. Okay, it's a mistake, okay, it's not what you asked, but you're responsible for that. Own that, you know, your responsibility. Don't, you know, wash your hands with it. Don't be like, oh, shame, but that's not what I wanted, so hey, not my fault. No, hey, oh, no. Also, how he reacted in front of Rhaenyra, having that impulsive move, you know, that violent move against her, again, to have control on her, to have power, like really, the body is speaking during that moment. Without responding to her question, do you really consider me as the right queen? No answer. And it's really almost like everything is turning around him, like the world is turning around him. And during this episode, at several occasions, I had the impression that for some characters, it was just about that. Like, the world is turning around you, you're not considering people at all, like... It was Alicent, that's it. I was trying to remember when I thought about it earlier. It was for Alicent in front of her daughter, who just lost a kid, because she pointed at him, hit him, kill him. She's a ghost, she's empty, she has no emotions, it's awful what happened to her, and during that moment, you're just thinking about, oh, do not say what you saw, who you saw into my bed. The world is not turning around you, my dear. Who cares about who you are sleeping with? Like, clearly, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. But for Alicent to feel that guilty about it, I'm surprised, because clearly it has been a long time that it's going on between them. And at the same time, how this episode is ending is making me think that, okay, maybe she's feeling guilty, in fact, since the beginning, since a long time, but it's not gonna stop her. It's like that between them, that's all. Daemon with that woman, that was a little moment, but I appreciated that moment, because I said it, I missed it during the first episode, a little thing about Aemond and the fact that he feels guilty about what happened with Luke, at least he regrets it. So I'm glad that he said it out loud. And right there, the fact that he was on a fetal position, being reassured by an oar, looking like a mother, you know, acting also with him like a mother while he was drinking milk, you know. We have a mommy issue situation, like... I'm sorry, but we do. We have a mommy issue situation. Ew! I'm sorry, it made me laugh. We had several moments with clearly not main characters, really even little characters, if we can say it like that, which are interesting because they are giving context, you know, to everything which is happening. Is it truly important for the show? And maybe we could have used these moments, you know, these seconds, minutes for something else, someone else and all. I don't know, like, for me it's okay, it's not bothering me, but I'm wondering, for example, people who read the books, maybe they would have preferred to have a longer conversation between other people, to have a longer thing for something else, or to have something also which is into the books but which was not read on the screen. Do you understand what I mean? I'm wondering about it. So yes, that was a cool episode, a good one. A lot of things happened into it. I still have the impression that we are into the starting blocks of that war, and you know, at some point it's maybe gonna be frustrating to just be on the starting blocks, like at some point let's begin the scenes, but it's cool, it's still really cool, all of what happened. And you know, in comparison of the first episode, in which I maybe had a little issue with the rhythm, I had no issue with the rhythm of this episode. I was fully into it all along it. That's cool. Tell me what did you think about this episode? I'm interested by your opinion about it. Nothing truly surprised me, if not Carl making that plan on his own, and clearly that plan, how it's ending, the two brothers like that facing each other. That's so bad, that's so meaningful, you know, for two brothers to face each other like that, one to kill the other one and then to sacrifice himself. And like I said during the reaction, I'm still not sure of who killed who is still alive at the end. And really, both of the brothers, you know, would have killed themselves at the end. One because he just killed his own brother and is sorry for what his brother did. And one because he just killed his own brother and he came to kill the queen. He feels sorry about it. He knows that no matter what, he's gonna die right now, so he's killing himself. Do you understand what I mean? Rhaenyra to feel so weak during that moment. I'm wondering, you know, the consequences that it's gonna have for her. I thought that she already knew that the guy was coming, but no, she was warned, really. I mean, security was warned just right on time, like... was a question of second. Okay, cool, really cool. Tell me, what did you think about this episode? It's all, guys, for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Great.